Hello, everyone. Hi, Jennifer. Hey, Kara.
How is everybody?
Feel free to take yourselves off mute. We'll just have a loud party right in the beginning. Welcome.
Good idea.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Nancy.
Hi. Hello, everybody. It's good to see
Hi,
your
Jennifer.
faces.
Yeah, so nice.
I've been looking forward to this. I'm excited to do more than emailing and actually have like fun chat time and FaceTime with everybody.
Yes, I agree.
Agreed. So agreed. Yeah, feel free to take yourselves off
Finally.
mute. Full
I'm using my
disclosure.
cell data. Can you actually see me?
Yes, we
see
can.
you.
Yeah.
Hi,
Okay, good.
Jessica. Welcome.
Hi.
There's many of you that didn't get to make our first call, so we'll definitely give you guys a chance to introduce yourselves. I'll grab my notes from last time too. That was so much fun. Most likely you watched the first Zoom, so you would love a chance to say hello. And I, like Teresa said, it's just so nice to have these meetings because it's the best that we can get right now. Right. But then when we finally all get to sit around a table in Italy together, it'll be like friends finally connecting and meeting in real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. So it's nice to see all of your faces. It's always better this way.
So much better. Yay. Okay. We want to give everybody kind of a chance to sign on, and then I can kind of run through ideas that we were going to talk about today. We've got everybody coming on here. Should we give it 2 more minutes?
Sure.
I think I'm on my 8th cup of tea today. It's very
That looks
chilly.
good. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get one.
it's the vitamin C. My mom actually was drinking it, and she left a box of it, and now I'm ordering it in like the massive bulk boxes, the vitamin C tea. It's so good. It's like drinking sunshine right now. So.
That sounds amazing.
That does sound amazing.
Nice. Find too, talking on Zoom for long periods of time, your throat starts to decide it doesn't want to talk anymore. So
Totally.
Sarah, have you ever tried David's tea? It's a company out of Canada, but they have fabulous teas.
no, I know
I love
Murchie's in
them.
Canada. Okay. Rachel and okay, Jessica, would you guys put a link if you can find it quickly? I know some people aren't on
It's just
computers.
davidstea.com. Let me see if I can figure
David's
out.
Tea. Hold on. David's Tea in Canada. Do you have a specific type you like? David's Tea. There
Well,
it
it
is.
depends on like I love some of their fruity teas in the summer. I love their sweet potato pie tea in the winter. It's so good.
That sounds amazing.
Ooh, that
I
sounds-
like to add just a little bit of cream.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm pro cream. Okay, this looks amazing. Great photography too. This like makes me happy just being on their site.
Yeah, their stuff is fabulous. I've not found a tea I don't like, and I've tried a ton.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, I'm always been a Rooibos fan. Looks like they've got a good Rooibos.
Yeah, they have
too.
some really delicious Rooibos teas.
Yum.
I like the jumpy monkey. It's like
I need to try this. David
coffee,
Tea. Can you buy it anywhere?
coffee
Like,
and
Well, they used to have retail stores in the US, but when COVID hit, they closed down their retail stores, which makes me really sad because I would always go to the one at Water Tower Place in Chicago and stock up. But I order from them all the time. It's just you can't smell it and taste it in person.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
but I can tell you, like if you're in the mood for fruity herbal teas, which ones are my favorite, or if you're wanting like black tea or Rooibos or whatever.
And Jumpy Monkey, what was that one, Rachel?
I think that's what it was called. I haven't had it in a while because but yeah, it's like a black tea, but I think they also put some coffee in there or
So
something.
it's like for energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah, they
name.
switch out some of their teas
Sounds like-
regularly.
They're gonna have lots of energy afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. They've got it in a tin.
Cool.
I've had to cut back a little bit on my caffeine because of heartburn, which
Oh.
appeared right at the beginning of the pandemic because I was indulging too much, my doctor said. I ordered a bunch of frozen yogurt from Jenny's, you know, that Jenny's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It started out in my husband's hometown, so I would get it every time we went, but then the pandemic hit and I was like, I'm ordering 6 pints and I'm gonna eat it every night. And my doctor said, yeah, that might be, you know, why you have heartburn, because it's too rich or something. So then I couldn't drink, I couldn't have rich foods for months.
Oh no.
Awful.
It's brutal. Yeah, I think we all indulged in things a little bit during the pandemic. I definitely went on like those binge buying sprees. Like I'm like, oh my God, it might go away like toilet paper. I need more of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Potato chips was ours. It was like right now, like I just ordered another thing of groceries. And my husband goes, did you open the cupboards before you placed this order? Or I was like, nope, just hit buy it again. Buy it again. Buy it again.
Need more. Need more.
I did that too, only I did it with tampons. My
Oh,
tampon
Wow.
went
And
away.
tampons.
Like they stopped manufacturing the tampons that I have used since I was
Oh.
a young teenager.
Oh no.
And I mean, like 30 plus years I've used these. They're
That
the
is
ones
no
my mom used. And they switched to some other thing that was more like for teenagers or something. And I went on Amazon. I ordered like 15 boxes.
Is
And
it like really good? Because it sounds like you really vetted these, so I think I'm gonna need this link.
Look at all the resources we.
Like as women finding organic ones that aren't like totally gonna give you cancer.
Oh, these aren't
like,
organic. These are not organic.
Kim's face is
These
cracking
are old
up.
style.
She's like, what are we doing?
I'm like, I have to order enough to get me till menopause. Which
Yeah.
will take a few years, but I mean, who knows?
Poor
I'm waiting
James.
for Kim's face looking at us like, what is happening?
I just got here from putting my baby to bed and I'm like, what did I miss? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I got stocking up on things during the pandemic that we can't get
And we
hold
just
of.
we have so many resources to share with each other. We have teas
great.
figured out and
And you missed
tampons
the
and
tea combo too. We were
I
talking about-
came in at the end of that one.
okay.
Yeah.
I have so much stocked up. I should just like send out samples so it gets used before it goes bad.
Mhm.
Because I went a
We
little
talking about tea or
crazy buying tea during the
tampons?
pandemic.
Tea? Okay, got it.
We did
Yeah.
just have those in our welcome kit. They're like, here's the beautiful, amazing teas, and here's some tampons in case you need them.
That's actually not a bad idea though. Not a bad idea because that's the last thing you want to not have.
true.
Yeah, I actually, thank you for reminding me. I actually needed to place an order for more because it's always the worst when you finish the box, you forget about it, and then you're like, oh, rad. Okay, well, it's 4:10. Welcome. I think we're all here. We only have one gentleman here that has had to listen to this. Jamie is referring to her husband, James. We do have a gentleman in our group.
He
who,
loves it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he's probably
How does this
very used to this.
Nothing new.
Yep. Okay, great. Well, James, welcome. I was saying in the beginning, there's a few of you that we didn't get to meet in our first Zoom call. And most likely everybody watched it. And if you do want a chance to introduce yourself and say hello and say what made you join the group, we would love to hear from you. But again, never going to put anybody on the spot, especially after reading all of your surveys and realizing we have a few introverts, we have a few extroverts, but we are majority a group of ambiverts. So we are a group that sometimes we're on with people and sometimes it's really nice to recharge alone. So I know there's some days where I would rather just fade into the background into the Zoom calls, and other days I would like to share. So I'll give you guys a chance. right in the beginning here, but first I just wanted to say hi. And then also I wanted also to call out Christy and Brooke, their squares. Oh, you guys updated your squares. There they are. It says Christy and Brooke and they're waving. Christy is coming home from a day on the mountain, and Brooke is being driven by her teenage daughter home from a volleyball match. So yay, devotion. Thank you guys. And I wanted to make sure I called them out only because they are going to be really integral in communication. As you're going to hear from Teresa and a little bit later in our call, kind of all of our travel to and from, how are we getting to the villa? What is the name of that town again, etc. Christy and Brooke are going to be your people. They're going to be the ones that are greeting you at the airport. They're going to be the ones that make sure that everything is comfy, cozy. And we brought Christy and Brooke onto this team just so that Kara, Teresa, and I could really focus on teaching and getting you guys the information and the awesome partnerships and everything that we're come on, parachute, we want some linens, all that fun stuff. But Christy and Brooke, I've known for many years, and I am personally so thrilled to have them here too, just because I'm a big fan of security blankets. And if my 6-year-old daughter hadn't taken mine as an adult, I probably would still be sleeping with it. So I like to say that Christy and Brooke are my security blanket on this trip. They make everything feel very warm and comfortable and safe. So I wanted to make sure you guys see them, you feel comfortable talking to them and communicating with them. They're easy to pop on a phone call with or email. But I'm going to briefly share just a little bit, and then I will pass it over to kind of like let the other people introduce themselves that maybe weren't on our first call. And then I'm going to speak briefly to some of the anxieties that are naturally bubbling up in, you know, anything that happens like this adventure. There's going to be those things that are bubbling up, and I've been getting some fun messages, so I wanted to talk about them. And then also Teresa is going to take it away with with travel, because that's probably going to alleviate like 85% of the what ifs. Right?
Or it could make it worse.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, it'll make it way better. Already even hearing you, we talked right before our meeting, and just already hearing Teresa, just because she's done this several times and may do it again in May, just knowing the steps and how recognizable and easy it is just, it was good for me to hear too. So, all right. So briefly, if you weren't here, which I know, I don't remember hearing from Tracy or James or Jamie, or maybe I did hear from Tracy. You guys have to help me. Jessica, I know, Nancy wasn't here, Debbie wasn't here. So we were completely unorganized last time and people interrupted each other. So my apologies for that. I should have done like an alphabetical list. But if anybody would like to share and say hello to the group, please feel free. And we'll just kind of, I don't know if you want to like pop your name in the chat, and then you can unmute yourself. And then
How do I get to the chat?
Oh, well, Jessica, how about you just go, because you're on you're
Okay.
not on your regular computer. So yes. So Jessica's gonna lead us off,
Yes.
and then you're fine. Welcome.
Sorry, our Wi-Fi is so bad. I'm using my iPad so that I make sure that I still have a signal through cell service. So yeah, I had a horrible migraine last time and didn't even realize the meeting was happening. But let's see, I live in Illinois. The reason I'm going is my husband and I had planned on taking a trip through Europe for our 20th anniversary, and COVID happened. So that trip did not happen, and he'd been saving up money for us. And he said, well, if we don't both get to go, at least you'll get to go to Europe. So he's using the money that he saved up for us to send me.
That's
Wow.
Which is unbelievably sweet.
Well, it's very
Very
sweet.
cool. Well, good. Well, welcome, Jessica. We're
Let's see,
excited
what
to
else
have
do you want to know?
Let's see. I think that was it. You're in my flower painting club, so you recognize
Yep.
a few of the other names on here. Yeah, welcome. We're excited you're here. All right, I think
Yeah.
Jamie and James will go next.
Yes, and we're having struggles with our camera, so James will just fade in and out of the background here. You'll just hear his voice. But I'm Jamie, and my husband is here, James. We are in San Diego, California. We probably missed the last one because of sports or something with the kids. We have 2 boys, followed the J theme there. So Jameson and Jace, and they play baseball and football. So we're usually doing that with our lives. And we're going on this trip because what an excuse to go to Italy. It didn't take much to convince me to want to go back. I've been there before, but James hasn't actually gone.
Yeah,
And so
I grew up overseas and traveling international a lot. So when the opportunity to travel again came, I jumped on it.
Yeah.
I have a background in art,
Awesome.
so I'm looking forward to painting again. So it should be a lot of fun.
Awesome. I
That's
love
so
hearing that.
cool.
Yeah.
Good to meet you guys.
Nice meeting
And you,
everyone.
Jessica.
Nice
This
to
is
meet both of you.
so cool.
Also, I legitimately thought that was your living room. And then I looked closer and I was like, why does that look so familiar?
It looks like
And-
the Friends living room. Is that what
It's
it is?
Seinfeld.
It's
Seinfeld, isn't it?
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But
so
most people
funny.
do guess Friends. That is the
I
number
was
one.
like,
They know it's in New York somewhere.
That's
But-
so funny. I literally was looking at that and I was like, I don't know why one of them keeps disappearing and reappearing, but that living room looks like it's from a TV set.
As it is.
That's awesome. Okay, who would like to go next?
I can. Am I muted or can you hear
Oh.
me?
I can hear
Tracy.
you.
Yeah, you
Hi.
are.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. Anyway, I usually don't Zoom at all. This is new for me. I might feel a little special because Kara, as soon as I saw this pop up for this workshop, was I one of the first ones that contacted you?
Yeah, you were, which I'm so glad you did.
So I own a rental business for weddings and events. So I think when this popped up, I was at like the end of the season and it was crazy. So I was like, I am just doing this. I don't even care. September is the busiest month for us. And I just was like, I'm doing it. So it's strictly just for fun. And I've always been interested in photography. I'm interested, of course, in flowers. Painting scares me only because I haven't done it. But I love watercolor. If I had to do anything, it would be watercolor. So I just want to relax, do creative things, and that's all. Just
Love it.
do it with other people, women, Italy. I've never been to Italy. We are supposed to be going the beginning of June, my husband and I. We planned this awesome cruise, and then the cruise line just went bankrupt.
Oh no.
So now I'm trying to do another cruise at the same time. So yeah, or if we don't do a cruise, we don't do a cruise. We're just going to go. So, but it's a totally different area than where this one will be. So yeah, just looking forward to it.
We're so
That's
excited
so
to have
cool.
you. Also,
I'm
I'm excited too.
Go
I
ahead,
didn't
Brett.
realize you were, sorry, Kara.
You're good.
I didn't realize you were who you were, Tracy. And I have been working with the rental company over the years, and it's my favorite rental company. And I'm always like, you gotta check them out. They're so good. And then when
Hey,
I got
what's the
your
name of
note
the
with the
company?
check,
I know. What's Tracy?
Well, before COVID happened, I was Classic Vintage Rentals, and I was rebranding, and in the midst of that, and then COVID happened, and so I had a ton of time to get that all up and running, and so I changed it to Great Jones. You guys, I'm really kind of from the Seattle area, but we moved to Portland many years ago, and I don't know if you were familiar with the shop in downtown Seattle called Great
yeah,
Jones.
Great Jones Home. I
My
That's
favorite
how
store.
long I've known. That's when I saw it as rental. I was like, "What? I'm so confused. I need
So-
to meet this person."
So what happened, real, and I don't want to take up all this time. Quickly, it was my favorite store, and I probably went to their grand opening, and I spent way too much money in there. But then the original owner, Sarah Kaplan, moved back to New York. Before they did, I don't know if you knew the history. I said, "I love the name of your store, your shop. Where did you come up with it?" And they used to live on Great Jones Street in New York.
Oh, cool.
So that's how the name came about in Seattle. Well, then they sold it to their friend Carrie, and Carrie kept the name. And I always wanted her to open a shop in Portland, but she was like, no, I can't do that. Then she went out of business. She moved it from Second, and she moved the location, but they're not in business anymore. So I was like, well,
There
I
you
wonder
go.
if I could take that name for rentals and events. Yeah, so that's how the name came about. I was like, I love Great Jones, always have. And then I went into home staging a little bit during COVID because I had all this furniture. So it kind of was, that's how Great Jones came about.
That's
Very
cool.
I
cool,
get-
Tracy. Well, thank you
So-
so much. Yeah, we're excited.
So yes, I'm in Seattle a lot still.
On the note of drawing, I'll just add here that no one
You might
can be
have to
worse at
come
drawing than
visit.
me. So you're in good hands. We can all just laugh at my drawings and how bad they are. I'm like, I will be great at teaching photos, but I'll be like, look at my great drawing and how I'm going to paint some flowers out of this terrible drawing. So you're in good hands.
We're
Good.
gonna start at the basics. That is what
Yeah,
we're gonna
just look
talk
at
about
mine and
later.
you can laugh at
Great.
I
mine.
promise. All right, Debbie, are you ready?
I'm here. I'm ready.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Debbie Greist, and I am actually Jennifer's mom. Wave, Jen.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so Jen is in Nashville. I am in Panama City Beach, Florida, and she's coming here in 2 days. I can't wait. But I'm really excited about this trip. This is my third art trip to Europe. I've been to France twice. I'm not an artist. Let me preface that whole thing, okay? The only time I get to paint is when I go on these trips. So, because I'm so busy. So I really, really am looking forward to it. And I've only dabbled in oils, never in watercolor. So I am extremely excited about it. Looking forward to it.
Great. Great. Well, we're so excited to have you guys. It was fun to have a mother-daughter duo and to have you guys be in the same room. And it's pretty amazing actually how all the room assignments and everything have worked out and how it was just like just the right amount of people and who wanted what room. And it was like, it just fell into place beautifully. So welcome. Yay. Okay, Nancy, it's you next. You're
Okay.
up.
I'm late to the party,
Oh, you're great.
but I am family friends with Christy's family and took a class from Sarah, and Christy told me about this opportunity and I hemmed and hawed and said, yeah, I'm in. So here I am. I love flowers and I am not a painter, but I'm enjoying learning. So we'll hopefully get better in Italy and as the year goes by. And I also love photography. So I'm excited for that part of it too. And Italy is amazing. For those of you that haven't been, you'll love it. And this is an area I haven't been to. I've been there a couple times, but I'm looking forward to having the yummy food and getting back into the culture and just enjoying some peaceful, sunshiny time with new friends, hopefully.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I live in south of Portland in Aurora, Oregon.
Okay. Yeah, there's actually a few Portland. So Tracy,
Oh.
Nancy, Sheila's Portland. Anyone else Portland that I'm missing? I think that was the three. It's kind of fun.
Mm.
Very cool. Well, welcome. Welcome, Debbie. Thank you so
Welcome.
much for sharing. Appreciate it. Okay. Has everybody said hello? feel like I've seen all of the other faces. Yay. Okay. So I will briefly touch on a few things and then we'll have Teresa take it away. I will be taking studious notes while Teresa is speaking, just so that we can kind of lay everything out. And I'll communicate that through our Facebook group. I know a lot of us aren't excited about Facebook, but it does seem to be kind of just a really good spot to gather all the information. Plus, I know that we could all probably access it quickly if we were on a train in Italy, or maybe we're just, flying through Iceland and want to check our Facebook group. Very easy to check, hence why we're using it. So I wanted to briefly touch on the surveys and thank you all. And also contracts, excellent work. Everybody is done. Surveys and contracts, excellent work. The surveys, Kim, we'll get you set. Kim says, I haven't been allowed into the Facebook group. I'll work on that. We will work on that.
What?
One of us admins. Teresa, you want to figure that out? You know how to do that?
I don't know how to do that kind of business.
What's the Facebook group called?
I put in a request and then I contacted somebody and nothing, but it's okay. I mean, I can
Okay.
just put it for Teresa.
No, I'm writing
You
this
should have
down.
just told me. Yeah, I don't know how to add you because I'm not an admin, but Christy or
What?
Brooke would know.
Okay.
I don't think
You
I
know,
would.
Christy and Brooke, I'm making a list right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if you're
Janine's
not on the-
raising her hand. Janine,
Hillary.
yes, Janine.
What's the name of the group? I'm sorry.
Oh, good. Hillary needs to be let in.
The only thing that we need to know is if your Facebook is a different name than what we are used to going by for you, we need to know that. Because the only thing we have to do is we have to friend request you first. It's kind of obnoxious, but it works and it gets the job done. And like Sarah said, it's the easiest thing for all of us to get onto. But if we don't know, if you say, for instance, you have like your maiden name or something in between, like your name you go by, just tell us that so we can find you, friend you, and then we'll add you to the group. Okay. Okay. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah.
And
And I've got Hillary, Kim Delgado, and Nancy Worth are wondering about Facebook. Anybody else? Okay, Jessica Chase and Jeannie.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
And
That's
just
fine.
so you guys know, you haven't missed anything on the Facebook group. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
We haven't
There's-
really posted much.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah.
There's Jeannie, you raised your hand, right? And then Janine, are you also confused?
I put Janine Wilson Robertson. That's my Facebook.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much for clarifying that. It really helps us to friend you and get you added easily.
Wilson.
I think the easiest way would be for us to friend you guys and then we'll be able to invite you into the group.
Okay, sweet. So Christy on
Yeah.
Brooke, I'll send you guys a list of the lovely people who have raised their hand. Okay.
Great.
Okay, so that's Facebook. Yay. Oh, Kim, there we go. All right. Kim, you've got a nice fun name. This is why I gave up my maiden name too.
Yeah.
My maiden name was Lambden, and trying to spell that because it was BD in the middle, nobody got it right. I just said, just say lamb dinner and we're good. So Sarah Simon is much easier. Okay, so I wanted to, I've gotten some messages from some of you about just concern maybe about like, I can't paint. What is the skill level required? To quote someone, I won't say who it was because it was so cute and funny. She was like, so I'm just going to be in the corner drinking wine and watching everybody else paint because I'm terrified. And I'm like, no. Majority of people will be drinking wine, promise you. You won't be alone in the corner. Everybody will be on the table, around the table. As Kara said, she's like, if we see anybody sitting alone and it's not by choice, we're bringing you into the group. But just know that you are expected to come knowing nothing. So I am reading all of the books and I'm prepping all of the things. In fact, I just got this book and I'm really excited. It's called Understanding Light. And you can know all about my notes and, if you want to read ahead and everything, but it's fabulous. And I want to just help everybody become these amazing sketchers. And we're going to talk about light and we're going to talk about drawing skills and we're going to talk about the foundations of watercolor. And we're going to, same with Teresa can speak to some of the
Yeah.
things she wants to touch in florals, but just to emphasize in art, come as you are. I will meet you where you are. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Same. I would say exactly the same. I think that one of the things with flowers is even people are intimidated by touching them. What if I cut the stem the wrong length and I ruin it? There's almost like a sacredness to a flower that makes people feel like they can't approach it. And so whether you do this as your career or you just like admiring them from a distance and you're afraid, it will be the same thing. And I think the beauty of all of it is doing it together is the cross-pollination of different levels of experience and having the freedom to just kind of play with teaching and direction and learning. It would be like being in someone's kitchen. Even if you knew a lot about cooking, watching them cook, you would learn a different way to do it. And so no matter your experience level, it will, there doesn't need to be any anxiety about coming at it having a lot of trepidation or knowing your way around all of it. And then on one-on-one time, we can dig into what fits you best too.
Yeah, which we learned from the surveys. Everybody wants some cool one-on-one time, which we're really excited about that. And I think it'll be fun to kind of build that into our week, and we can fine tune when we're doing it and, you know, what you actually want to ask about and where you want to drill down. And, you know, as you get there, you might discover, you know, a lot that you didn't know, and how fun to be able to spend time, you know, learning more. The other thing, so I'll be totally candid and say I'm an anxiety kid. We were chatting about how there's some people that are just like so easy and you could put them in any room, looking at you, Christy and Brooke, and they're just like, yeah, you know, I don't, you know, I'll sleep wherever, just throw me on the floor. Like, I'm like, that is not me. I would need to know I have my own room. I would need to know I have my sound machine. I need my mask on my eyes. I need my CBD. I need all my things. So there's certain things that give all of us anxiety. And I think it almost, I don't know if it's true everywhere in the country, but in the Pacific Northwest, it's gloomy. And I feel like it just propagates anxiety more around this time of year. But also just knowing that, like, okay, this is for real. We've signed contracts, we've made deposits, we are moving forward. So just all of the thoughts that are starting to kind of bubble up. And if there's anything in the back of your mind that it's kind of like tickling the back of your mind going, this thing keeps bothering me and I'm feeling concerned about it, but I don't want to look silly. I just want to invite you and tell you that this is a safe space and you can totally communicate that. And we're going to try our best to make it just the most amazing experience for everyone. And I know there's a lot of dietary concerns. I got several emails, so that was rad. Thank you for sending that. My husband is vegan, and it's by, you know, it's by medical choice. He has to be. So gluten-free and dairy-free is a bummer in Italy, but it is what it is. And we're going to eat what we can to keep our bodies healthy. So this is an invitation to let us know if you have any concerns, and we want to be able to work together and figure out how to accommodate them the best. So Christy and Brooke have wonderfully volunteered to kind of just be that liaison and to help communicate these, just to hear from you guys. So I'm going to reply after our group and just make sure you have both of their emails. So if you're feeling like, okay, like I really need them to understand I cannot eat gluten, please feel free to email Christy and Brooke. I'm really concerned about the outlet situation, or whatever is doing it for you. Okay. The other thing that we realized, I did this lovely survey and almost all of you filled it out, but I didn't ask for your names. So I wanted it to be anonymous, right? But because I wanted you to feel like, yes, I can share all these things. But so many of you shared so many beautiful things, but I don't know who you are, who did it. So my apologies. So if you're saying all these amazing things and I'm nodding and smiling and I don't realize it's you, please just let me know in Italy. Hey, I was the one that I really actually wanted to sit in the corner and drink the wine. You just let me know. So all that to say, if you have concerns, if you want to share anything that you're thinking about or just wanting to us to consider beforehand, please, I'm going to let Christy and Brooke just totally soak all that in and make sure that everything happens for us. Okay. Because we want this to just be the most fun week. And I have an outlet converter for my sound machine. So I'm a happy kid. So just so you all know, those are mine. So yeah, I think that is it for my agenda. And I'm going to let Teresa take it away and speak to you guys about travel. I know she's got an amazing app, and she was even trying to look up train schedules so she could get us exact things in September, but they don't exist. So you
yeah,
go.
Thank you. There are no trains to check out in September, so I pretended I was there tomorrow. And I was trying to retrace what I did so that I could tell you guys helpful information and not vague memory. But the questions I've seen the most have been like, where's the best airport to fly into? What's the name of the town we're going? And how, like, best way to get there. And so what I can tell you, I flew into Bologna, and then there's a little tram that takes you from the airport to the main Bologna Centrale train station. And then from there, you take a 2-hour train south to Fano. However, I left Fano for Rome, and that was just one direct train line. So if you guys are flying into Rome, you can easily get to Fano. If you're flying into Bologna, we're going to have Christy or Brooke, one of them will have, they'll like meet a couple times throughout the day, and you guys can gather depending on your itinerary, and they will walk you through to the 2 trains to get you directly to Fano. So if anyone is coming into Bologna, let us know, and then we will have these time posts that, like, maybe 11 o'clock in the morning and then 3 in the afternoon or something, and Christy will take you on the train to get to the other train and send you on your way, and then we'll meet you in Fano. But the app that I used and found a game changer is called Omio, and I am going, before you sign up for it, I'm going to send you an email link because I think it gives you a discount. I can't say for sure, but I think it does. And basically it will search train, flight, and public, like bus, for anywhere you want to go, and it'll also sell you tickets right there. And so then if you are doing any other travel, or you're even just doing this little stint from Bologna to Fano or Rome, you can see all the, like, the fastest, the cheapest, and the cheapest and fastest, and then the schedule, and you can pick it and buy it and you're good to go. And I found that, like, I've traveled in Europe quite a bit, and that was absolutely such a smooth, cool tip. So like I said, I'll email the link to everybody, and then you can use it as you want. But that makes it very easy. And the other thing is Google Maps. When you're in, it's like a hot Europe tip. When you're in Europe and you use Google Maps, it tells you like what platform to stand on, when everything is running, the fastest way to get there. It's really, I don't find it very useful here, but with the public transportation there, it has been a very cool tool. Unless last minute the trains change platforms, and then it's just really irritating. So at some point I had to put down the computer and just use my brain because it wasn't syncing. But for the most part, that helped. Another thing I wanted to tell you is if you can get like 20 euro cash just to do your traveling, you don't really need cash much, but you need to use, sometimes you need it to go to the bathroom, sometimes you'll need it for a quick ticket somewhere. Like, I don't know, a lot of you have traveled Europe, So this is redundant, but like sometimes you have the big tickets purchased, but you didn't get the tram ticket purchased and you have to go to a little stand and buy the ticket. So it's just nice to be armed with a little bit of cash, even if you're planning on mostly all card use. And then let me see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you. I think that's all that I wanted to tell you. It's a very intuitive experience to get around there, and a lot of you might be traveling beforehand. If you just get yourselves to somewhere where you can land in Fano on the 13th, then we will take care of getting you from there to the villa, which is about a 20-minute drive if I can remember, and we will have a van that does that carpool to and from the town and the villa, or the villa, as they would say.
And Teresa, you said something on our call about how, I think it was the Bologna airport you said was very small,
Yes.
very approachable.
Yeah. Does anybody have their itinerary yet? And is anyone going to Bologna?
Do they
Okay,
speak
I think,
English most places?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they do. I think it's really, they really value good manners, and I think it's such sweet, considerate manners to just approach them a little bit in Italian, even to ask if they speak English. They appreciate the effort a lot, but it's not hard. It's not really hard to get around. And if bystanders don't know, some like officials know, like if it's an airport or the train station, they know. But yeah, the airport is, when I flew in, it was an inter-European flight, and we landed in Bologna, and it was kind of like you get off on the runway and you walk on the pavement through the doors. It's not a gate like a international airport. And there's a tram that takes you from the airport to the main station. And then it's that main station that then has a train to Fano. And that the tram is like less than 15 minutes, maybe 10. And the train down south is really pretty because it's on the coast, and it is about 2.5 hours, depending on which one you get. And the other thing, Sarah mentioned the converter or the outlet situation. There are universal adapters that I would strongly suggest you all get one at least, depending on what you need to charge. But that's something that I would have completely forgotten if my friend didn't remind me when I went last, because there's a lot of little tiny things like that that make all the difference. So it's a little guy, and it's on Amazon, and it doesn't cost much.
Can you post a link for us?
Absolutely. Yes, I will do that. And then I'll also email the app to you. And I don't know if I'm missing anything else. I've gone over this so many times to make sure I led you the right way, but it really was so, the only stressful part is making sure the platform is the right platform. So if you're stopping in the middle of the train route, it'll have the end destination, but it won't necessarily show your stop. So you just want to know are you heading all the way south, or are you heading all the way north? And then you'll make sure you're getting on that right directing train. Rachel, I see your hand.
Yeah, hi. Would it be helpful once a lot of people have their itineraries to let everybody know, like, hey, when you get to the train station, these are the people to keep an eye out for, and we can ride the train together?
Yeah, I think that we were talking about that, managing, knowing everybody's plans. I think that would be a really cool thing to put in Facebook. And then as each person is making their plan, they can look and be like, hey, I'm actually going to Rome first too. Is anybody else going? And then you can within each cadre of people, you can maybe figure out what works the best. I think it'll be easier for you guys to do that and see it and buddy up
Yeah,
more, because otherwise we won't know all the other parts of your trip that you're doing. But
Mhm.
then we will look at it as well, because it'll help us know nobody's going to Bologna. We don't need to do any transfers there.
Yeah.
So I would be really interested to see. I know this time my family's traveling through Rome, so I'm going to be doing the backwards train ride from what I did when I ended last time.
Okay.
And I see that there were some comments.
Yeah, that's, so Stephanie asked, what about finding COVID testing to get in and out? Were the tests hard to find?
Oh yeah, good question. Nobody cared upon my entry. So I didn't have to get anything. The whole trip, nobody cared. Only Seattle cared. I think to leave the country, I had to get tested, and there were testing spots in Rome. So probably if people are leaving Bologna, we'll have to ask the hosts who live there, like, where's a good place, and we might do a little van pool to go get the test a couple days before we leave. But you guys will just have to come to us and let us know, and then we'll figure out. I know we did that. Kim and I were together and did that in Belgium. You didn't have to get one, did you, Kim?
I did.
You did.
I did. I ended up getting it at the Liège train station, and I was going to get it at the airport in Brussels. Then I was like, I'll just do it here. And it's a really good thing I did, because the testing station at the Brussels airport was closed the day I left. So I wouldn't have been able to. Yeah. So
yeah.
I
So
do
grab it
think
while you can.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember too that, I mean, you guys all know we've been living through this for so long now that I think it's going to change so much from here to September. So I think maybe we'll just keep updating like what's happening for the country. So that way we can share that in the Facebook group. I think that would be helpful. Would that work for everybody if we, as we like learn things, we'll share that with you guys, because I think it'll definitely,
it changed.
At the beginning of the end.
I think that because we're in September too, we're at the end of summer. It like when I went, it was like, what is COVID? There was one place that needed the passport and one country that needed me to show it.
Totally.
But I think too, we're at like, it's such a sweet spot for sick bug, because everybody is coming off of the great summer. Everyone's feeling good and nobody's as sick. So, but what I did know by anticipating my trip last year was I would check the embassy, and that had updated information for every country. So if you're hopping around before or after you come, and you check if you go to the US embassy, it'll tell you what every country needs or their level of danger, wherever you're going. And danger, either like terrorist danger, COVID danger, whatever danger, I'm not sure. But yeah, it wasn't hard to find in any of the places. And I do agree with Kara, it's changing all the time. So
and those embassy websites have, like, you can download whatever forms you need and fill them out on your phone and keep them on your phone. It's super easy. And it sounds like they won't be as stringent as the government in Belgium. They were literally like calling us and texting us and being like, when are you leaving? And where are you getting a test? And what's your name? And we have your children. And it was like incredibly.
Yeah, but what was kind of cool is I did all their paperwork and held it with me. And they said you can submit this automatically, or you can carry a paper. And I carried paper because I was like, I don't care. I don't need Belgium to know all of my information.
Mhm.
And nobody wanted it. So everyone who did it online got a phone call from the government, and Belgium didn't even know. They kind of harassed, yeah, and in French. So they had to have their translator.
Yes.
Nobody spoke English. But yeah, so I thought having the analog version of real paper, although it felt kind of weird, it turned out that nobody needed anything. So
All right.
that's the
So we'll
COVID
just-
question.
Yeah, we'll just stay on top of it. And if anyone has any information to share or hears or sees it, feel free to add it to the Facebook group. It is going to be ever changing, but like you said, Teresa, it's actually a really good time to travel because we're coming off on that warm, nice summer where it's a really good time. Okay, Jamie asked, did you say Rome to Fano or Bologna to Fano? And Fano is where the bus will be to get to the villa. And I'll let you take the Rome and Bologna, but I will tell you, Jamie, and everyone, that we have a van at the villa, and it's a 20-minute drive to Fano-ish. Fano is the little beach town, and then the villa's inland from Fano. And that will be driven by Christy or Brooke, just kind of in intervals. So you'll arrive at the train in Fano, and then you will be picked up and delivered at the villa. And Christy and Brooke both have driven and spent time in Italy, so they are comfortable and able to, and it's on the right side of the road, so we don't have to deal with a UK flipperoo, which is nice. That's one less thing. But yeah, Teresa, Rome to Fano, Bologna to Fano.
It will all work. You just need to get yourself to Fano, and on the 13th at some point. But the 13th will be, everyone's arriving. We'll have a dinner. You'll get in your rooms. You'll get comfortable. It'll be just like, we're just hoping that the transition of being jet lagged and all the travel and everything, different language, all of that, we're wanting to make it really seamless for you. So when you get there, you're just ready to enjoy all the beauty that it is. And then we'll start in the next day with all the rest of the agenda and itinerary that we're planning.
Yes. And Jessica asked, is there a plan if the trip gets changed, canceled because of COVID? And does travel insurance even cover COVID? I think it depends on your airline for travel insurance. But the plan right now is to pray that everything is fine. And if for some reason the country, cuts the US off, or, we have a deal with the venue that we would just basically bump it a year. Correct me if that's wrong, Teresa. I believe that that's kind of we're working on that.
We're working on that. I'm not sure, but we're planning for, like, we're having conversations about worst case scenarios and making provisions for them. But I don't know yet. We are still working on the stuff with the villa, but they're very wonderful people, and they're really reasonable, and they speak English really well, and they're really nice to me when I try to speak Italian to them. And they want this to be an amazing time too, as much as we do. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, I am really hoping that my husband and I can go out there in May and plant a cutting garden for us.
Oh,
So that's
cool.
they have some property, and they totally opened it up for me if I wanted to use it. And now we're just trying to work out dates and availability for us to go and plant with them. And
You want to share who gave you seeds for that?
Well, we'll see if I can take seeds over, but Floret Seed Company is really, really like pro you guys. Good job. Here are some seeds. So you all get to go home with some seeds. You just might not get them in Italy. You might get them mailed to you before or after we get home.
Awesome.
But they're really excited, and they have some high well wishes for us. And I just got them in the mail, and I didn't tell Sarah or Kara about what we got, but they're really pretty.
Yay!
So
Yeah,
we're
so
trying.
rad.
I don't want to give away all our secrets, but we're trying to work with different companies. We love to just give, like, spoil you. So if I can go in May, I will pack some seeds and see if I get in trouble. And if I don't get in trouble, then I will be able to plant some over there. And if I do, I'll find some over there. But that
I
is
actually have a little experience traveling across the border with seeds, because I've bought seeds in Canada.
do.
Yeah, so there's like a form that they had ready at the gardens because they do so much of them. And I don't know exactly how you get it, but it's just like a form that gets stuck to your seeds that says these are okay for travel.
Okay.
Well, so
do a little
I'm assuming it's
experiment.
the same thing, but I don't, like I said, the gardens that we visited and bought seeds at already had that in place because so many tourists come across the border because it was in
These guys-
Victoria, Canada.
They don't have that. They don't have that certification or credentials. So I was just wondering what would happen if I packed them. And I'm not going to bring floret seeds. I'm going to bring like random seeds and see what they do with them. And it'll be my test. But I hope I can get out there. We'll see.
They look for them and they have to be signed off on. Like they'll take them away if you don't have
Okay.
the proper credentialing. And
Okay.
I don't know that it's that hard to get. Like I said, we didn't have to do any of that, but they do look for it.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that. But yes, I'm
Mhm.
hoping we can have a little cutting garden. It would only be a little baby annual cutting garden, but we're going to try for it. So if we do, then when I'm there, I'll send you guys all pictures of the spring version of where we're headed in September, which I have. That's where our pictures were earlier. But I'm very excited and I love getting this time with you guys.
So
Maybe Floret would even know about the rules.
They don't. They
Yeah.
said we don't have any,
Oh.
we can't do any international shipping.
Yeah.
That I didn't know if, I don't know.
They didn't give you any guidelines to smuggle stuff. They weren't
No,
helpful.
they didn't. They
Maybe we can send a gift to Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it just shows up at the villa. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yes, here's the seeds.
I'll strap them
But
to my
we'll-
body.
We'll figure it out.
tape 'em.
I'm looking at different European seed companies too. I'm not worried about getting the flowers there. I was just excited that Floret is excited for us. And I am really hopeful that we will have a lot. The villa has unending amounts of olive and some pomegranate, and grape. But it would be cool if we could take a little field trip down the street and go play.
As far as the seeds go, it sounds like it's going to be such a, like, kind of a hassle getting, like, they're here and then they'd have to get to Italy and then each of us individually would have to end up filling out forms to get back home. And like, I live in California and I know that it's really hard getting anything in and out of California, even if I'm just in a different state, let alone a different country.
I think that's, yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Seems
you
like
off.
maybe
I just looked it up.
we're not planting them in Italy, so
Yeah, no, you'll probably end up getting them in your house in like May or June from us.
Yeah,
That's probably what's gonna happen.
I think Teresa is just thinking like when we're there, if we can utilize some of those seeds to grow flowers when she visits in May, then we have them cut. But then the seeds that you guys would have, we would mail them to your house. So you could-
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I know. I was like, wait, I see where you're going with this, but I was like, let me try to clarify it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kara.
I'm just, I don't need my seeds in Italy.
Totally. You're like, I
Of
would
all the
never
things
put
to
that.
pack.
I just went to the USDA website and it says you have to have a phytosanitary certificate issued by the National Plant Protection Organization of the country you are leaving, indicating the seeds are free of pests and diseases. And then there is an 800 number that you can call to get information about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
And they
it's
do
a-
inspect it to make sure it's free of pests.
Okay. It's a bureaucratic dream that I'll probably avoid by just buying European seeds. But anyway, yes, we have exciting things in the works.
Yes.
Were there any other travel kinds of questions or logistical questions that anybody thought of? Cool. And if you do, you can just write them up in Facebook, and then we'll see them and volley them to the right person.
And I'll send out kind of a summary email also with the link of this recording to everyone so that people that weren't able to make it tonight will be able to catch up. And then also, Teresa, maybe send me the Omnio and then I can just put it all in one email. Is that easiest for you?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'll just summarize everything. So look for it tomorrow. I'm going to go have some pho with my family.
Oh,
Yes.
actually,
Can-
Sarah. Oh,
Yeah.
Jessica, sorry.
Yeah. What are we doing involving photography? I've done professional photography. I can take my gear with me, but I didn't know exactly how photography was going to be involved. And if I should take stuff with me. I mean, I probably will take some anyway, just because I like to take pictures, but I wasn't sure how that was incorporated into all of this.
Yeah, I'll chime in really quickly. So I was going to chime in earlier, but we kind of scooted on from the topics we were on. So I didn't want to be like, oh, wait. And then it kind of like was an afterthought. So just to kind of clarify too, you guys don't need to go out and buy crazy gear just to learn how to shoot these beautiful paintings and the florals that you're going to be creating. But if you do happen to have gear, I would just bring it. I've been shooting for 13 or 14 years now. So whatever gear you have, I'll be able to figure out like what's happening and how to sort it out and teach you how to use what you have. But just know, even if you're shooting with an iPhone, I can promise you, you will leave 50%, if not more, better utilizing what you have and whatever it is in whatever form you're shooting with. Because the whole goal is you don't need to go out and buy all the best gear, but if you do have experience, I will teach you at whatever level too you're on and whatever gear that you have that you feel good with. If you do have questions and you're like, I want to buy some gear, you can always shoot me an email. I'm happy to help you guys. I'm an all Fujifilm shooter. I started with Canon first. So if you have any questions about gear, if that's something you're interested in, I'm more than happy to teach you that as well. But even Teresa can tell you, I've taught her editing tricks for florals and how to make them more vibrant, like just on her iPhone. So don't stress out about that, and just know that whatever form that you feel comfortable with, whether it be a camera, like a DSLR, a mirrorless camera, like whatever it is, we're going to make you feel confident in leaving and having better photos.
What lenses would you recommend? Because I don't want to bring all of them.
What do you have?
50, 24 to 70, 90 millimeter macro.
Okay, I have to interrupt.
fisheye.
I'm so sorry. I have a call that I'm 5 minutes late for, so I am going to have to jump off. Do you guys mind if I start this conversation between the two of you, or we do this on Facebook for your lenses?
We can totally
Sure.
do it on Facebook. I think just bring two. That's the long and short of the answer. I think if you chose a 50 and a 24 to 70, you'd be
Okay.
golden.
Those are my standard travel lenses. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah. Any
Sorry
questions?
to interrupt. So
Let's
sorry.
totally chat offline, and I'm happy to help with all of those questions.
Thank you, Kara.
Thanks,
Appreciate that.
everybody. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for
Bye,
being here.
everyone.
I'll be sharing everything tomorrow in our recording. And I want all of these questions and these communications. So sorry to cut you off, Jessica. I appreciate you.
Oh,
being
no,
here
it's
about your
okay. I
camera.
realize I'm probably asking questions others don't have, so.
You might be the only one with the fancy camera, but that just means we're going to get lots more amazing photos. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right. Thank you all so much for being here again. So
Thanks,
nice seeing your
Sarah.
faces.
Everybody.
You'll be hearing
Bye,
from us
everybody.
soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.